Cop-Outs, welcome to Cop-Outs of Anfield. So I'm not been around much today. I've been working on and off, catching up with things. But I just thought I'd bring you my review for last night's game and player ratings. Also got a few more videos I want to do for you over the next couple of hours. But let's get started with my thoughts on the game last night. So I thought the first half was pretty poor, to be honest. I thought Leicester dominated. Certain aspects of the game. I mean, they scored first, didn't they? Which I thought was poor defending. I think we were just hitting crosses in. I didn't think Trent played very well first half, to be honest. I think we did something like 42 crosses, which were easily cleared in the first half. I don't know what was going on, to be totally honest. Nobody played well in the first half. I thought second half was a big improvement. Scored early with Curtis Jones. That was a good finish. And then Gakpo with an absolute screamer. No, sorry, I tell a lie. It was 1-1 at half-time, wasn't it? Gakpo with a screamer in the 46th minute or something like that, wasn't it? The injury time, screamer from left-hand side, bent it in the top right-hand corner. That was a great finish. And then Curtis Jones scored early in the second half, 52nd minute or something, was it? Brilliant build-up play again, and then Salah with a third. There wasn't much really for Alisson to do. I think they only had 3 shots in the whole game. But yeah, I don't think we played well. We got the job done. We won the game. 3 points on the board. That puts us 7 clear of Chelsea, 14 above Manchester City. With the game in hand. So we win the game in hand. That puts us 10 points above Chelsea, sorry, and 17 above City. But if you were to give us that at the start in the summer and said to us, by Christmas, you're going to be 14 points clear of Manchester City with a game in hand, I'd have bit your hand off. But again, I don't think anybody played overly well first half. Second half was a massive improvement. I would say either my man of the match was Alexis McAllister or Cody Gakpo. Mohamed Salah breaking records as usual. Curtis Jones with a 100th Premier League game for the club. I just read an article actually saying that Jurgen, he didn't even know it was his 100th game, Premier League game. Jurgen Klopp messaged him and said, congratulations on your 100th appearance, Premier League appearance. Here's to the next 500, which I thought was a nice touch. Curtis Jones basically said that Klopp's still massively in contact with the whole squad. At the end of the day, it was his squad, and Slot's just continued it, which is true to a certain extent. I mean, Jurgen Klopp did build the squad, he did rebuild the club, but you can't take anything away from Arne Slot. His tactics have worked. He's only lost 1 game all season. We've got now a record, haven't we? The longest run, is it? Unbeaten run since 1989, I believe. But yeah, I can't really complain with anything to do with Arne Slot. I don't want to take anything away from him at all. I think that's unfair. At the end of the day, Jurgen decided to go. Nobody wanted him to go, but he made that decision. Why? Nobody will really know until he elaborates on it. But yeah, let's get on with the player ratings. So as always, I do my player ratings off This Is Anfield, so people can't say that I'm biased. So let's read what it says. It says Liverpool won 3-1 at home to Leicester to go 7 points clear at the top of the Premier League, with Cody Gakpo standing out in particular. So the goals were Gakpo 46, Curtis Jones 49, and Mohamed Salah 82, after Jordan Ayew scored in the 6th minute to put Leicester in the lead. So they've given Alisson a 7 out of 10. Alisson has made a seamless return to the team, and he was as safe as ever. He could do nothing about Jordan Ayew's early strike, with a nick off Virgil van Dijk, giving him no hope. Liverpool's number one was otherwise untested, not making a save of note. Trent Alexander-Arnold, they've given me 6. I would probably agree with that, to be fair. It was a mixed night for Trent Alexander-Arnold, who produced both class and frustrating moments. Some delicious crosses were delivered from the right, but his corners were consistently poor, and one shot fired into the cop wasn't received well. Adequate overall. Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, 5 of his crosses that he did hit the first man, which was easily cleared. I thought it was, to be honest, I thought he was poor with his crossing in the first half. On to Joe Gomez, they give him a 7. Continuing in the absence of Ibrahim Konate, Gomez wasn't always convincing against Leicester. He can often shrink after an iffy start, which happened here, with a couple of sloppy passes met with annoyance by the home crowd. Gomez made some important interceptions, however, and got much better as the game went on, which he deserves great credit for. Virgil van Dijk, 7. Van Dijk coasted through proceedings overall, although he may feel he could have done slightly better in cutting out the ball for AU's goal. That's being harsh, though. Otherwise, Van Dijk went about his duties with ease as Liverpool dominated possession at Anfield, completing 98% of his passes. Andy Robertson, 7. While Robertson appears to be entering the twilight of his top-level career, he produced an encouraging performance this time around. The Scot was poor for IU's opener, getting his body in a bad position and being outfoxed, but he did play a great long ball to Gakpo before the break, hit the post with a header and offered constant endeavour, though not quite the force he was. Ryan Gravenberch, 6. Gravenberch has started every Premier League game so far this season, but this was one of his less influential performances overall. That's not to say that the Dutchman did much wrong keeping the ball ticking over, but he didn't boss the midfield as much as he often does. Alexis McAllister, 7. There were times when McAllister looked off the pace early on, but he really grew into the game. The Argentine never stopped pressing, showing such tenacity out of possession, and he was tenacity out of possession, and he was crisp in his use of the ball. Insisted Curtis Jones with a precise low cross and got a nice reception after being substituted late on. Curtis Jones, 7. Jones came in for Dominic Szoboszlai in the number 10 role, but struggled to enjoy a convincing outing initially. He dawdled in front of goal with the net gaping, and as he can be the case at times, he was guilty of holding on to the ball for too long in general. That said, he put Liverpool 2-1 up with a well-taken finish to ease the nerves, and like so many, was better as the game went on. Mohamed Salah, 7. On current form, Salah has a strong argument for being the best player in the world. He was busy earlier on, producing one lovely flick to Jones, but some of his execution was lacking its usual inch-perfect brilliance. Salah hit the bar and played some nice slide passes into dangerous areas before scoring his 100th home goal in the Premier League to complete the scoring. Short of his very best, but perhaps we expect too much at times. So they've agreed with me. Cody Gakpo's man of the match. They've given him an 8. Gakpo was again deployed in his strongest left-sided role, and during a dour opening 45 minutes, he was Liverpool's most dangerous attacking player. The 25-year-old looked a threat, cutting inside, and it was his brilliant curled effort that made it 1-1 seconds before the break. He had a goal harshly disallowed after the break and then assisted Salah, the pick of Liverpool's players by a distance. Darwin Núñez, 6. Núñez returned to the team at the expense of Luis Diaz, knowing how vital it was for him to produce a big performance. Once again, though, you were left wanting more from the Uruguayan, who offered little in terms of link-up play and got caught offside too often. He did produce a nice flick in the lead up to Jones's goal, though, and was denied by the goalkeeper after some sharp movement. So that's the starting 11. I'll give the ratings for the substitutes, but I won't bother reading what their review of it. So Dominic Szoboszlai on for Curtis Jones in the 77th minute. They give him a 6. What I will say is Dominic Szoboszlai was booked in that game, so he does miss the West Ham game on Sunday. Diogo Jota, 77th minute, on for Darwin Núñez, 6. Kostas Tsimikas on for Robertson, 86. Wataru Endo on for Gravenberg, 86. And Harvey Elliott on for McAllister, 92. They give Arne Slot a 9. I would have probably given him a 7, to be fair. I thought, I don't know. I just would have given him a 7. Things couldn't be going better for Slot, with Chelsea's 2-1 defeat at home to Fulham only adding to the importance of 3 points for his side. The 2 changes to his starting lineup made sense, allowing a freshness within the squad, but the first half display was lacking. But Slot yet again got a much improved performance from his team after the break, as they ended up easing to victory at Anfield. 7 points clear with a game in hand. What a job the boss is doing. But yeah, this is Anfield's play ratings. I agree with a lot of it. To say that Slot's a 9 is a slight over-exaggeration for me. Like I say, I would have given him a 7. But to be fair, he did whatever he said at half-time, and it gave the players a kick up the arse, which is what they needed. I feel a little bit sorry for Gravenberg. I think he needs a break. If you're not going to use Endo or Tyler Morton, then maybe we should sell them both and maybe bring somebody in the January window. I don't know who, to be honest. I can't see Martin Zubimendi leaving Real Sociedad in January. I don't know anybody else really that could play that number 6 role, unless you're thinking about maybe is it Edison or Emerson? Can't think of his name now at Atalanta. Edison, I think it is. He could possibly be a good signing. But it's going to be tough to get players through the door in January. It generally is a tough window to get things done because nobody wants to sell the best players in the January transfer window. Let me know what you think of last night's performance in the comment section. Don't forget to subscribe and like. And if you'd like to support the channel, the links are in the video description. But that's it for now. Take it easy.